Are you ready, Bob?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready, Guy?
Yep.
Muzzle loaders? It's time to do the television show. We're up here at the outdoor fair. It's Sunday morning, the third day of the fair. We have 5 hours to go. What a corker it's been. Last year, I want to tell you, last year's muzzle-loading village was Guy and Evelyn.
Yep,
A small, intimate gathering. This year, for those of the folks who came up and saw it, how many muzzle-loaders were here?
We had around 70.
And a muzzle-loaders village that you won't believe. It was fantastic. That was only one part of the outdoor fair. Why, we had dogs, boats. We're going to tell you what, since most of you folks didn't get to come to the outdoor fair, we're going to bring it to you. So stay tuned. I'm Fred Trost. It's Outdoor Fair Night right here on Michigan Outdoors. One of the warmest and newest additions to the outdoor fair this year was the Muzzle Loaders Village. It was exciting. In this village, you could see colonial representations of all eras from the early American years, authentic teepees, tents, lean-tos, costumes. And you wonder, where do these people get all of this material and merchandise? All these things? Well, they don't buy them in the stores. Most of it they make. And at the outdoor fair, you could watch them crafting beadwork, blacksmithing. They make a lot of their utensils for the fire. Here, Evelyn Swan is doing finger weaving. You could see weaving. Well, here's an Indian costume representing a couple hundred years ago, smoking an authentic pipe. It's amazing that they make most everything that they wear, that they sleep in, and cook in, including their muzzle-loading rifles. And you can do some trading there. They trade with each other frequently, and many of the visitors to the outdoor fair got a chance to not only see and talk to the muzzle-loaders, but buy some of their handcrafted items. Now, here's a Chippewa canoe, an authentic canoe that is 21 feet long.
It's a replica of a birch bark canoe. It's 26 foot long. She weighs a little over 600 pounds, and it's a North canoe. It's what they usually used to run mainly the rivers, or if they had a courier they had to run, well, then they'd take this light canoe. But it would carry about 2,500 pounds of cargo and 6 to 8 men.
Yeah, well, it is a replica.
Yes,
You were
yes.
saying, too, that you've taken it out on the Great Lakes?
Yeah, we've had her on darn near all the Great Lakes. And in '82, we run it from Ojibwe Island in Saginaw, Michigan, up to Mackinac on a 4.5-day voyage, or a little over 260 miles, by the way. We went, along the shore. We'd run about a mile offshore.
And you were paddling it, but you also
Yes.
have a sail here, too,
Yes.
kind of a crude sail.
Yeah, it's a regular, just a square sail, 10 by 10. That would be, equivalent to 100 square feet. And like the old ones used to use, it mounts right down in this strut here. And we sailed 82 miles with it to one day. The guys, they liked that real well. Come nighttime, they didn't want to paddle anymore.
You had them spoiled.
Yeah, they wanted to wait for another wind to come up.
Oh, this is a fantastic boat right here.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice canoe.
This was a new addition to the outdoor fair, kind of a last-minute surprise and a part of our on-the-water boat show. These activities were done at the Limberlost Dock right across from the high school on M55, which provided a great facility. One of the things that we expanded on this year with the help of the Michigan Duck Hunters Association was retriever work and a full reenactment, demonstration of duck hunting skills, duck hunting equipment, and the dog work is always extremely popular. Here's a yellow lab picking up the dummy and back to the boat. Got to see retriever training tips, demonstrations of how they work, and this happened twice a day on the water at the Limberlost Dock. Now, for the other aspects of duck hunting, the shooting aspects, we go back to our shooting tent behind the high school. That's where we actually had one of these layout boats. The Deadstream chapter of the Michigan Duck Hunters Association had a layout boat there for hunters or young hunters, people who haven't tried a shotgun before, to lay in the duck boat, and at the sound of pull, at the call of pull, a clay pigeon would fly out simulating a duck, and you'd get a chance to see what it's like duck hunting in a layout boat.
Get on the bird enough, follow through a little bit longer on the bird, and then squeeze your trigger off. Safety's on.
Screw Scored a hit right there. The duck hunters put through 750 shooters, many of them who have never shot a shotgun before, right there at the outdoor fair. Muzzle loaders put well over 1,000 shooters through, people who hadn't had a chance to shoot a muzzle loader before. And as I said, a lot of these guns were handcrafted by the muzzle loaders themselves as they gave muzzle loading lessons in their authentic costume.
Hold your gun down. Bring it up to the target. Don't cowboy it. Don't go up like this, because you might shoot over the woods. We don't know what's over the woods. We're safe. It's 2 miles. We don't want to hit a deer in there either. Hold your gun down.
Handgun silhouette
Up to the
shooters put
target.
through over 1,400 shooters, many of them with big bore handguns, the first time they had ever been able to shoot a handgun like this, young and old alike. Quite a thrill to squeeze off 2 rounds. They charged 2 rounds for $1.
Like you and somebody
Quite a bargain,
else.
because that's what it costs when you buy the ammunition from the factory.
Right.
But this gun right here is a
Right up
44
here and
Magnum.
relax. Load the gun up for you.
Quite a weapon for a youngster to shoot,
Aim at
or
that
even an oldster
big
to
ram
shoot,
now.
and many people lined up. As I said, 1,400 shooters got to use a handgun, many of
Hold the
them
gun
for the
down.
first time.
Cock the gun, bring it up to your target, and then shoot. Just a little high, that's good. Rest that target right on that front sight. You were scared that time. You see what you did?
Quite a thrill shooting a big bore handgun, a more tame shooting sport. Again, a new one at the outdoor fair, one that we've had before, but we had it all 3 days in a big way, was sling shooting. And next year at the fair, we're going to have a sling shooting competition. So you sling shooters, practice this year, because we're going to have a competition with prizes. Of course, archery has always been a big part of the outdoor fair. The Flint Bowmen conducted several shoots, including a 28-target Golden Arrow big game silhouette shoot. There, Ron Mass, the president of the Flint Bowmen, shows how you're supposed to do it. Good practice for hunting season, but a lot of hunters weren't so lucky, had to spend a little time looking for their arrows. The targets were authentic size styrofoam, life-size targets called Golden Arrow 3D shoot. Here's a hunter here that is going to have to spend a little time on the straw bale before he hits the woods this fall.
Yep, right in the bottom of the tree.
That happens frequently, but this target was missed more frequently than any. This is Slewfoot, the long shoot, 160, 170 yards away, a big bear that had big prizes if you were able to hit the insignia, the crest, on the Stroh's can. But many people had difficulty just hitting the bear. The prize? Well, we had about $3,500 in prizes that were awaiting anyone who could hit the crest. A little wide, many of them were long. You can see the folks picking up their arrows well ahead of Slewfoot. Right here, we did score on this flight of shooters a couple hits fairly close to the can. Quite an accomplishment to hit the bear. There were patches, buttons, awards given for the various accomplishments. That's what they were aiming at. The crest on the Stroh's can. You can see a couple shooters came within a couple inches. One person hit the can, won a fishing trip with Emil Dean. And this, we're going to have to bone up for next year. We'll have more and bigger prizes. Inside the exhibit hall, some 60 exhibits were awaiting the public. We got these shots on Sunday morning before the crowds packed the exhibit hall. There was hunting, fishing, outdoor products, scent spents, innovative products for the sportsman. Interesting thing about the outdoor fair is that a lot of people come here to introduce new products, new on the market. Crawler collar, we had some demonstrations of the new night crawler lures on the market. Game tracker, archery, it was all there, and believe me, it's going to be bigger than ever next year. For the first time, we could hold speed casting competition right on the water in Houghton Lake. That made it a lot more exciting, really, than previous speed casting competitions.